Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us. This is Yoel Cortex, Senior Librarian at Ex Libris, and we're here discussing today a new feature for the January 2022 release of Alma, Library Level Patron Notifications. Library level patron notifications allow us to send patrons, allow the institution to send patrons notifications separated according to the library of the entities in the letter. For example, the patron activity letter, which sends out lists of loans that the patron has, can be separated by the library of the items which are on loan. Let's take a look a little more in depth here. So we're talking about letters, notifications such as the borrowing activity letter, the courtesy letter, the request report, the overdue and lost loan notification letter, etc., that they're aggregated or grouped together by library and sent separately. Advantageous for two reasons. First of all, there are many institutions who have requested and desire to send separate letters by library. Secondly, it allows the institution to make one configuration in the XSL, which can, for example, give a separate text per library or a separate format per library, or even display a separate image per library. Previously, this wasn't possible because one letter could potentially contain several libraries. So in order for this to take effect, a new parameter, separate patron notifications by library, exists under configuration fulfillment general other settings. Let's go take a look at that. So I'm in a January 2022 release. We'll go to configuration and to fulfillment and to other settings. We'll scroll down and here we see our new parameter, separate patron loan notifications, and it's true. So we're all set here. It's already set. Next, let's go see if by chance we have a patron who happens to have loans in multiple library with items for multiple libraries. So here is our patron Alicia Hen. Let's take a look. Let's go to manage fulfillment activities, and sure enough, she has one loan in the Gietzion library and another loan with an item from the main library. So according to our setup, Alicia Hen should get two separate letters. Let's take a look. We'll say fulfillment, manage patron services, retrieve Alicia, send activity report here on the top right, and now we should see, if I go check the email, because I'm sending this to myself so I can see how it's working, we should go see two separate letters according to the library. And sure enough, we have two separate letters here. Let's go take a look at them. This is the first one. I'm going to double click. It says, Dear Patron Hen, blah, 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 blah. It's one item for the Gietzion library. Here's the second letter, one item for the main library. So we have successfully sent two separate letters, one for each library of the loaned items. Now, let's also define a configuration inside the XSL of the borrowing activity letter, which says, for example, if the library of the loaned items is the Gietzion library, then make a text which says reply to whatever. And if it's the main library, make a text which says reply to whatever. And we could even make another condition. If it's neither of those two, then make something else. So let's go get some text that we're going to put in the XSL. Now, we're not going to look at how to do an XSL configuration and what is the syntax of the XSL and how do we get to the XSL. All of that you can find here in the letter XSL customizations. This whole presentation which we're looking at, you can find the link for it in the description of this YouTube video. We're just going to take this text here, which is an XSL condition, and put it inside the borrowing activity letter. And this says, for example, if the library of the loaned items is the main library, then make a bold red text which says reply to the main library at Beitar Edu. If the name of the library of the loaned items is the Gietzion library, then make a bold red text which says reply to Gietzion library at Beitar Edu. So we'll take this with us and let's go to that letter. We'll go to the configuration, to general, to letter configuration, and to the borrowing activity letter. And let's say template. And we'll put this, we want it to appear on the top, so we'll put it right here before the body section. Paste. So now we've added the configuration there. And let's save. And now we'll do the same activity again, which is sending the Patron activity letter to the patron. So we'll say fulfillment, manage patron services. We'll get Alicia Hen because she has an item on loan from 2 separate libraries. Send the activity report sent successfully. And now let's go check the mail. And now we see we have 2 new letters. Let's go take a look at them right here. The first one is for the Gietzion library, and sure enough has our text unique for the Gietzion library, reply to Gietzion library at Beitar Edu. And then we have our other letter, which is for the main library and has reply to main library. So in summary, we have set the parameter that the patron level, the item level notifications will be by library, or the library level notifications are separated. And then we also made a configuration inside the XSL so that we would have a separate text depending on the library of the loaned items. Similar configurations can also be made in the other letters. Thanks a lot and have a nice day.